Hello everyone, CrunchMan here. This is going to be my first YouTube program, pretty much giving you an update on my status, which includes health, my progress in being able to be a normal person again, in the sense that my ability or not ability to walk, some of the stuff I'm working on, which is really exciting stuff, dealing with artificial intelligence, and my last thing, talking a little bit about some of the neat tricks I've learned when building neural networks that people should know about. And a word of advice to young students that are taking math in high school and college: learn linear algebra, learn how to take a derivative, learn a little bit about gradient descent. Because if you learn all these things, you'll do really, really good in artificial intelligence. It's all being used. So don't think that when you're taking math, you're not going to use it. You are going to use it. I found that out the hard way. In the last 3 years, I've been focusing a lot and studying and refreshing my weak understanding of calculus and linear algebra and other things. And I want to turn you on to some very good YouTube channels where you can learn math very, very easily and very quickly. So let's start off a little bit now on my health and things like that. I'm still requiring a lot of medical expenses, mostly due to medication and transportation. Wherever I have to go, I have to take paratransit. That's $3 a ride, which means if I have to go to the gym or want to go to the gym, I have to come up with $6 every time I visit the gym. I have no source of income right now other than the Social Security, and hopefully later on, the VA will come through with some medical disability and also aid in attendance, which is a very, very long and arduous exploration in a very complex organization, the Veterans Administration. And believe you me, they are so complicated. You have to be a college education person to really understand how it all works. And I'm just barely learning how to deal with it now. I'm taking physical therapy soon, starting next month, to learn how to walk again. My biggest problem right now is balance. I got the strength to walk, but I get tired very quickly. But I can walk with a walker, and the most I've walked in a test was 600 feet. That was before I had some issues with swollen ankles and calves, which prevented me from walking. I've got other internal problems in my body as well, which I prefer not to discuss, but I can talk to you about it privately, and you know how to reach me. So GoFundMe is still active, and I urge you to please contribute. The link is below. The other thing I'm learning right now is how to deal with my inability to move around. And I've developed some techniques for doing exercises that gives me an opportunity to strengthen my legs up quite significantly. And now, because of that, I'm to the point where I can almost walk. Soon I will graduate to a cane, and I'll be able to walk around in a cane fairly safely. And I don't expect to reach at that level until about another maybe 6 months to a year or so. So that's my health. The other things I am working on right now is I'm trying very hard to build up my skill level in the art of prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is a new skill set, came about with the release of ChatGPT. We all know about ChatGPT. We've heard about it everywhere. It's the rage in the internet. And I discovered its ability to write code. As a programmer, I find that to be very useful. I have a very bad short-term memory and things like that. I make a lot of really stupid mistakes. So ChatGPT and Copilot are the two applications that I use extensively in writing programs. It kind of prevents me from doing really stupid things, and it keeps me honest. And I highly encourage programmers to at least consider using it, especially beginner programmers or programmers that aren't as skilled as myself. So with that aside, I've been able to develop a lot of AI-related applications. One application was taking a camera at a construction site and being able to detect whether or not a worker is wearing a helmet or not, or I'm sorry, a hard hat, and identifying those that are not wearing a hard hat. Another application, which you can find on the internet, by the way, is one that will tell you whether or not you're wearing a mask. That's very important during the COVID crisis. And being able to tell large groups of people that are on a security camera will be able to identify those people that are not wearing a mask. And that can be very useful. Other types of artificial intelligence stuff I'm working on is pretty much confidential. Can't talk too much about that, but it's another thing that I'm getting excited about. I have not really been able to get paid yet, unfortunately, because I haven't quite got my skill level up to the point now. At least at this point, I think I could do you really good by giving you an opportunity to at least learn from me how to develop the skill set with prompt engineering and how to ChatGPT to do things for you. You cannot write a huge program with ChatGPT. It isn't going to work. You got to do it little at a time. Probably the biggest thing that I find that can really help me out is write it out in English overall what your huge ass application will do. Identify the pieces of the application, but do not deal with the complexities of the actual coding at that point. Basically, it's an organization of your application. Have ChatGPT give you guidance on how to do that. It will do a very good job, but don't expect it to write code for you, not at that level. Then what you do is you break things down, small little pieces down into smaller little pieces. And then in each of those pieces, you can then develop the code necessary to actually achieve your results using ChatGPT with small applications or small little snippets of code that might take maybe 20 or 30 lines of code, and defining it in very, very precise manner. What operating system you're using, what language you're using, what IDE you're using, what platform you're using, and all that. And you can come up with some very cool applications very quickly if you just follow that very simple top-down, bottoms-up approach using ChatGPT. You'll find it works quite well. At least it does for me. So the other things I'm working on too is other applications relating to a billing system for a medical clinic. Doing it very well, having it come together amazingly fast. And for me, that's really critical. Again, like I said, I'm really trying to get my skill level set to be able to teach people. One of the things I'd really like to do is a way for people to connect to me through my Patreon account. If you contact me through Patreon with a desire to have me teach you some of this stuff and how to use ChatGPT to, let's say, write an iPhone app that's a little bit more complicated than just displaying an image on your iPhone, or perhaps writing a more sophisticated application in whatever you're doing it for, I could certainly teach you that. And I'd like to do is set up a Zoom conference only to my Patreons, of course, who want to subscribe and attend some of my Zoom lessons and lectures that I have that I can make available to all of those people who really want to learn from me. It's available on my Patreon. I charge very reasonable rates for this, only $100 an hour for those people that want to get in on the Zoom call. And it's only, again, available to my Patreon. And I also have a YouTube channel now that I'm putting out. The YouTube channel is more or less talking about my life. I talked a little bit about my assignment at Indian Mountain Air Force Station, Alaska. I also talked about the Homebrew Computer Club. It's split up into 3 separate YouTube videos. You get my YouTube channel by youtube.com/@JD CrunchMan999. That's my YouTube channel. My Patreon, of course, is patreon.com/JDCrunchTime. You get all that stuff down below in the comment section. And so please like and subscribe and spread my YouTube channel out as much as you can. I've got a lot to teach you, and I've got a lot of interesting things to talk about. So join my discussion group on my Patreon. And with that, I'll say farewell and be looking forward to other YouTube channels that I'm coming out with, or YouTube videos, I should say. So with that, farewell and be safe.